So you start looking on that. That's a big issue. I mean, your kids are worried about it for a good reason. Okay, climate. It leads you to weather. Then you're looking up stuff about the weather. Then it leads you to Stormy Daniels. All right, now you're into
Bill Maher recently had a boring but very strange interview with kids. It was uncomfortable to watch, but not in a funny way. The podcast I covered a few days ago was uncomfortable but funny. This was just uncomfortable. So the episode is called Bill Maher Talks to Kids on his Club Random podcast. And right off the bat, this sounds like a bad idea. Bill Maher has demonstrated many times that he's very out of touch with pretty much anyone younger than him. So this feels like a match made in hell.
I assume you're both transitioned. I assume you were a boy as a child and you were a girl. I mean, that's...
What?
No.
What?
No? Oh, well, I thought everybody these days was transitioned. No.
The conversation is pretty dull unless you're fascinated with what kids are watching online. So of course Bill has to make it interesting, right? But his humor isn't very PG. So you mix that with kids and things quickly get pretty weird. He keeps making a bunch of jokes that you wouldn't normally do in front of kids, or at least in direct conversation with kids.
I think it was his or it was my sister's, but they actually fit me pretty nice and I like to wear them to school.
So did you wear the same kind of clothes when you started out life as a boy? I assume you're both transitioned. I assume you were a boy as a child and you were a girl. I mean, that's...
What?
No.
What?
No. Oh, well, I thought everybody these days was transitioned. No, you actually was born.
Yeah, I was.
And you were born a girl?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, fine. So whatever kink, whatever you're into, whatever weird stuff you're into is fine with me. Nothing weird about it. Someone who actually never watched Modern Family, tell me what the setup is and who the character is.
So it's a traditional family, kind of 2 parents, 3 kids.
Yuck.
Yeah.
What? 2 parents, 3 kids. The parents are like a man and a woman?
Yeah.
What? That's ridiculous.
And then it's and a very old husband with a kid.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Played by Sofia Vergara for the young.
Oh, Sofia Viagra. She's hot, huh?
Blah, blah, blah. When I grow up, maybe like in 5 years, it's going to be something completely different.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what they teach you kids these days, is you might be completely different in a year or 2. You might not even be a girl, huh?
Now, maybe in the beginning, he felt like he could balance innocent conversation with adult humor. And then maybe realized shortly into this that he doesn't want to be there anymore. So he's like, fuck it, I might as well talk about stuff that I'm interested in. And I guess when he thinks of kids, the only jokes that keep coming to mind are trans jokes. I know he's most likely covered this stuff a lot on Real Time and likely can't get enough of it. If he just did one, it wouldn't be that bad, but he just kept going back to trans jokes, which got cringier every time. Then it gets even more strange when he brings up adult content.
What sites do you go on the internet?
I go on Wikipedia.
Wikipedia. Okay, so you're on the internet. Your Wikipedia goes from one site to the next. What if it leads you to some place where you don't think you should probably be? Because I hear from parents, not that I'm one, but I hear they're very worried about what their kids are seeing on the internet.
I don't think I go on bad websites or anything.
But you could, right?
Yeah, if it takes me to one, I just exit it because there's nothing that...
Well, I mean, say you're interested in, like, climate change. So you start looking on that. That's a big issue. I mean, your kids are worried about it for a good reason. Okay, climate. It leads you to weather. Then you're looking up stuff about the weather. Then it leads you to Stormy Daniels. All right, now you're into Now you're into a site. What do?
I exit it.
There you go.
I think he was so bored at this point, he needed to extract something interesting from this. It's like he's hoping that these kids are up to no good, but when he sees that they are pretty normal and decent kids, he has to make up a scenario of them watching adult content. Every comment I could see was referencing how weird this line of questioning was. The whole thing felt like he was just looking for something to lecture them on. At one point, the young Asian girl says she watches shows in Korean, and he somehow finds a problem with that.
What drama shows do you like? Grey's Anatomy?
I like K-dramas because I'm Korean. And
okay, K-dramas.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was such a thing. What channel is that on? So you only speak English at home?
Yeah, but maybe we try to speak different languages at home.
But why do you only want to watch the Korean channel? I mean, you know, they used to call America a melting pot. Like everyone would come and we'd be in one big pot and we'd melt together. That's sort of like a good idea, don't you think? That we should melt? Okay. All right. So watch a little Grey's Anatomy. Would it kill you?
I guess he thinks it's so weird that a Korean American girl likes to watch Korean shows. Bill can't wrap his head around it. With this episode, it feels like he's throwing shit at the wall and seeing what grabs attention, which is kind of the same thing he did a few weeks ago with the hug to a girl, which got a lot of attention, but for the wrong reasons.
Like that, the idea of spitting. First of all, it's gross. It's not necessary. It never existed before porn.
This girl is only famous for one clip, so I don't know why the hell she's even there, but I think it was a great decision just for the awkwardness at the expense of him looking like a creepy uncle. He obviously really wanted to talk about the one thing that made her famous, and it gave us this golden moment.
You need to do a podcast. You do it right here on Club Random, if you do it my way. Sex expert. And I'll tell you why. Wait. I'll tell you why. Because you need to, I told you were given this chip. You were given the chip of fame. Now you want to trade that in for something that uses that, but takes it to the next level. You have to like trade on what you're already known for. That's the one thing you're known for. So you could do a podcast for, like, I don't know if there's anything from somebody that age with that point of view, but it couldn't be frivolous. You have to take it seriously. Could you do that?
Possibly.
And talk about sex, but seriously, serious issues? Because there are a lot of really serious issues. I mean, there's one that's related to what made you famous.
Yep.
What? What am I going to say? You have no idea what I'm going to say.
I don't know. I don't know where this is going. I'm kind of nervous.
I'm going to tell you where it's going. You learned that thing about spitting from That's where that came. What? You did. Maybe not directly, but trust me, like that, the idea of spitting, first of all, it's gross. It's not necessary. It never existed before. Do you know that? Do you realize that?
Yeah.
And is not benign. It is not. And it has warped the minds of the kids in your generation, especially the guys.
Well, if that didn't get weird, the way he brought that up in conversation just made it look like he was desperate to get on the topic of criticizing the adult industry. It's like he wants to show how disgusted he is with it, but is trying too hard, so it backfires and he ends up looking creepy. Later on, he made another joke, which no girl wants to hear from a guy who's almost 70.
Okay.
You like Keith Whitley?
Never heard of him. Put your mouth back.
Sorry.
You're just going to start another meme.
Probably.
And they're gonna
blast me and put
blame it on me.
a whole bag of peckers in my mouth.
Right. And again, we need to move past that, Haley.
Yeah.
If you don't want, trust me.
I'll try to keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, just listen to me. What are we talking about? What did I just ask you?
I think his mind went wandering a little too far there. Even Dr. Phil also thought that this was too much.
Yeah,
I love Bill Maher talking to Hawk Tuing.
Oh,
Oh, really? You're famous for Hawk Tuing?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's a good
it's your
Bill Maher.
show. You had her on.
Yeah, you had her on, you
He's
dumbass.
like mad about it.
Also, he was talking to her. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
He was a little, he was starting to get into Harvey Weinstein territory.
It was a little flirty.
It was a little flirty. She's 21, maybe? I don't know.
22, I believe.
And that's her dad to figure out what's going on after that. But Bill Maher was, just getting in her, and obviously high as balls. I don't think you want to be a middle-aged man high as balls around a young girl who's known for hawking on and that's the first time I've said that today.
Sorry, I couldn't resist. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed this, hit the like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.